some of the stuff that we don't think about when we study the scriptures or talk to individuals in the world or our family members, or some stuff that we do think about. They talk about Muhammad Ali as someone that champions sticking up for his race and who he is and who he was. But when we do it, we get pushback, hatred, and all these other types of things, even from our own family. Why is that? Because we're not only condemning a satanic world, we're also condemning our family that follow after that satanic world, that believe that the satanic world that they live in is something to be desired. See, the media, TV, newspapers, social media control our lives in a way that is unprecedented. There's nothing in history has ever done this. So it's hard to explain to people what's really happening in this type of paradigm. So when you tell people being gay is wrong, and they say, oh well, I don't care what the next man does as long as it doesn't affect me. Okay. Since it doesn't, you saying as long as it doesn't affect you, but let me show you how it does affect you. It affects you by them steady talking about it on TV, and you're seeing it. They put it in TV shows where you have to accept it. See, you're accepting it on the TV show unless you turn off the channel, turn off the TV, don't ever watch that show again. That's how you don't accept it. But as long as those shows that have those type of things get ratings, it's gonna be on there. Just like Empire, for example. It was a good show. Everybody knew the son was gay, but people liked the show because the father didn't condone or support the son that was gay. Threw him in the trash, told him not to be gay, told him to man up, did all types of things that, you know, that we agree with. In the second season, when the gay one starts to come into power or rise, we start to be like, we don't agree with that. That show started to lose ratings. Of course, there's those that agree with it and watch it and kept the show going, but it wasn't the same as the first season because of that. It wasn't because of the story. People wanted to see a black family win. They wanted to see a black mogul. They wanted to see something like that. You understand? They wanted to see an empire ran by a black man that didn't give a damn about white people. They wanted to see that. Even white people wanted to see that. So the thing was, the things that they were trying to force down your throat. That's what the thing was. And people don't understand these things like gun control. They're forcing this down your throat. When you look at the statistics of what's really going on or what's been happening, assault rifles aren't the problem. It's the media that perpetuates a hatred between different cultures of people. That's what it is. Like Islam, Christianity, and Judaism are all the same thing. They all read the same book. They just call it different. They call it the Torah, they call it the Bible, and they call it the Quran. They're all the same book. They're talking about Adam and Eve. They're talking about Abraham. They're talking about Ishmael, Isaac. They're talking about Esau, Jacob. They're talking about the devil. They're talking about all of the same exact stories. So what is the fundamental differences the fundamental differences are what was created by the devil, not by God. What God is doing is explaining the situation, explaining having different laws in different cities or different states promotes confusion. It promotes a chaotic society. You don't have the same laws that you have in New York here in Florida. It's kind of like having two different cultures within one continent, just like Africa. But they call it states. But then they have two different parties that control these 50 states and then tell you, yo, you have a way of controlling how these people interact with you, but you don't. This is how they perpetuate confusion. But people that don't take the time out, not to study books and things like that, but to observe what white people are actually doing. Why do I say white people? But I'll get to that. Observe what these white people are actually doing in society to control everybody that is around them. Then you understand what's going on. But we don't do that. People don't do that. They want to live that 9 to 5 and go get a job and eat till you die and all this nonsense. That's nonsense, man. Instead of living for God, like there's a thing about a man wanting to be able to work with his hands and make something at the end of the night or the end of the week and see a finished product. But because we always go to a place where we don't see a finished product or something that fulfills us, we become stressed, we become irritable, we become angry at the world that we're in because we can't find meaning in the world that we are in. That's what it is. You can't find a meaning. You understand? So you had to set little, so they tell you set little personal goals in the world or in your life so that you can start to feel meaning. But that's another trick. This is another trick. You're supposed to feel meaning in going out and growing crops and seeing it come to maturity, raising your kids and seeing them go out into the world and becoming mature human beings, women and men and women that are like-minded like you, that follow the Most High in what He wants the earth to be like. But white people, they control the masses of the world. They control Europe, they control Africa, they control America, South America, Russia, Australia. When somebody controls 70% of the earth, are they not the ones that you blame for the situations at hand? That's what the problem is. Like, a lot of black people are forgetting there's no other ethnicities that own as much as this white man does. So he has to keep the majority of the colored races down, right? See, the scriptures is saying, listen, the 70% of the world that this man controls, you're supposed to control that, Israel. You're supposed to control that. But because you didn't follow the laws that I gave you from that's been around for eternity, you have to be under someone that's going to show you a wicked way of living that's without me in it. That's what God is showing. But people don't want to take that. They want to be stubborn. Scriptures say a stubborn man is like is an iniquity. We don't think about these things that go together, or these things that involve our lives. It says corporate companies control all the TV that you watch. Those 6 companies control the radio stations that you listen to. Those 6 companies control the record labels that sign the artists that you listen to. Then those billionaires that come out of those 6 companies own the basketball teams that you follow or you cheer for. Cheering is a form of worshiping. You don't see that though. It's a crazy world that we are in, and the best words for it I've ever seen is a matrix. A system that is to encompass your life to where you have no real decisions. Your decisions are based off of the commercials that you see, what type of beer you drink. They put Bud Light on TV more than they put Dos Equis. They put Bud Light on the commercials more than you see Modelo or Coors or anything like that. So majority of people drink Bud Light. This is how it works. It's conditioning. They put the next people that they want to terrorize. So they know that they can control your fear, right? Taliban, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, right? We don't know who's next because supposedly they're getting ISIS under control now. So whoever's the next president, they're going to have a new fear-mongering tactic for the people. Isn't that ironic that that's always popping up? But we don't think about these things, man. The average man doesn't think about these things. The average woman doesn't think about these things. I could get into the whole man and woman situation, what they're supposed to be doing by scripture. Men in Israel don't belittle women. We want you to do your job, just as we are trying to do ours. It's not as being subservient or a servant to a man. It's taking pride in what was delegated to you by the Most High. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. It's that simple. A man is to protect a woman and make sure that she has everything she needs or whatever she wants within life, so that she doesn't have stress, so that she's able to bring forth children in an unstressed world. But you tell a woman that, or you trying to control, or you tell her and her friends is putting this feminism bullshit in their head, which is just to destroy men or destroy the thought of a man. But if you look at the world that you live in, everything has order. Everything has, its rules. Look at a tree. A tree grows up trying to reach towards the sun. Does it grow down towards the ground? That's a rule. You see what I'm saying? Look at a car. It drives in a... Let's not go to a car. Look at the earth. It supposedly go around the sun. That's a rule. Look at the stars. They shine at night and not during the day, brighter than the sun. Oh, well, because the sun is closer, blah, 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 whatever. But it's a rule. These are rules. You put words on a paper so that you can read it. These are rules. People don't want to look at the rules of things. If there was no rules, everything would be sporadic. Everything would be there would be no cohesiveness, no order to it. Look at humans. If there was no rule to how a human is to be made up, we would have an ear in the middle of our forehead, a mouth in the back of our neck. We would eat through our stomach, because why put it in your mouth and go down the digestive system? It would just put it in your stomach. This is rules, order. Something made order. Some Big Bang made order? Nah, something made order. But we don't take these things into consideration. We take our own belief of what we think should be and make that a rule. But your opinion is not trumped over fact. Fact trumps everything. Your opinion doesn't. So yes, you can have an opinion, but your opinion should be based in research or fact of something. I'm Furious Black, man, and I just want people to start to think about the rules. Please share my videos, subscribe to my YouTube page, and you know, you'll get more great content.